this is the final result, and this is the reference image I used. The reference image is from Unsplash. The link is given in the description. First of all, let's desaturate the reference image. This helps us see the value more clearly, since color sometimes affects the ability to tell light from dark. One such example is the color red, which we perceive as light, but if you desaturate it, it turns out darker than your expectations. Now, when I say value of an area, I mean how light or dark that area is. If it is pure white, I'll say it is the lightest of value. If it's black, it is darkest of value, and grays are in between. In this image, you can see some areas are white, some are near black, and most are various shades of gray. You can see that the shapes I'm drawing are not the shapes of the petals, but I'm defining areas of similar values. In a rose, there are lots of these random shapes, and if I get these shapes right, I do not even need to define the petals of the flower. If I can define the areas good enough and then fill them with color of correct value, then the final result will end up like a rose. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm tracing on the reference image. You can do so too, but for the record, I do not endorse tracing as a substitute for drawing. Drawing from observation is an essential and invaluable skill, even if it has gone out of fashion in the modern world of art. One should be able to draw from observation. It helps you see the world like an artist. But for the purpose of this tutorial, and to show you how I define shapes based on their value and not on their meanings, I'll trace the shapes on the reference image. Now that I have almost defined all the shapes, let's have the reference image on the side. I'll start coloring. Yesterday, I put the foreground and the background in separate layers. In watercolor, you look at the whole, the gestalt from the start. So here too, I'll keep the whole image on a single layer. I'll put in the dark background around the rose. Now I'll put some light color on the lighter areas. Then I'll go and put darker color on dark regions, always consulting the reference image. One mistake I made here is that I got involved in attaining the correct color instead of the correct value or temperature. I have learned that the exact hue or color does not matter. The value and the temperature of the color matters. Now, what is the temperature of a color? In short, yellows, oranges, reds are hot, and blues, violets, greens are cold. And you can substitute colors of same temperature with each other, and it won't break the believability. So if something is blue, you can easily put in a violet of the same value and you won't be fired. Well, you may be fired for some other reason, but not for this. This way, you can turn a monochrome blue image into a vibrant, colorful painting. And as long as you do not mess with the temperature, you are fine playing with colors. But here, I totally forgot that lesson and got myself involved in a messy race for correct color. But at least I'm putting lights in lights and darks in darks. The stem and the leaves are more fun, and they turn out better than the actual rose in my opinion. In hindsight, I shouldn't have filled in the background in the beginning. The flower itself would have looked better in the white background. I tried here to remove the background, but soon my conscience weighed in and forced me to stay true to the watercolor medium. And so I went back and colored in the rest of the background. And so this painting is complete. This is perhaps the first time I'm drawing a rose. Nope, actually I did it once in a competition in my school. Let's see how it looks in grayscale. If it does not read well in gray, it will not read well in colors. So let's see. It's a possible rose. I wouldn't buy it, to be honest, but I think it was a good try. 5 points to Gryffindor for effort. Let me know what you think of this painting. Do you think it is possible as a rose? Also, I have collected a couple of photos to draw, but if you know of an interesting subject or if you have taken a good photo of something interesting, do let me know and I'll try painting that in one of my future videos. As always, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.